Hello, my name is Glenn DeVoe from the College of Education at CSU DH. I just wanted to share with you some thoughts about the CFA CSU contract. We're in a 4-year contract. This is the last year which we're allowed to negotiate. At the very bottom right, you can see that what we got in the contract was 9.65% if you got a step, and inflation was 20%, just to the right of that. And as a result, our wages didn't keep up with inflation. In other words, our wages went down. We're negotiating now. In June it started. In August they declared an impasse because they were too far apart. They went to mediation. That wasn't fruitful. Fact-finding is going on now at the end of September and probably in for another month or so. And then we have to decide what to do if they don't come up with the 12%. The CSU could unilaterally just impose their last offer, currently 5%, or we could vote for some kind of job action. The CSU has always said, well, we don't have enough money. We don't have money, so we can't afford to give you enough. In fact, what you need to do is you need to go to your legislators and ask for more money for the CSU, and that way we'll have enough to pay you. Well, in fact, they do have enough money. As you can see in this CSU document, there is a cash invested at fiscal year end. They have $808 billion, $500 million, and they also have a rainy day fund of $2.7 billion for a total of $11 billion available for them to spend. As you can see here, salaries and wages are about 35% of the CSU budget, which is $12 billion total. So they have $11 billion in savings, and the budget is only $12 billion. So a 12% increase would be about $520 million, so $500 million for all employees. So CSU can take out $500 million and still have, of their $11 billion in savings, and still have $10.5 billion less. So CSU has $11 billion in the bank, and $500 million would be paying all employees enough so that their wage would not go down. As you can see, the Chancellor for the last 24 years took a 246% increase. It's almost, recently it's been really high from Timothy White until the newest president, Garcia. So 246% increase over the last 24 years. Presidents took 193%. So the executives are getting plenty of money and big raises, big increases. But as you go to the last two lines, assistant professor, when I started this CSU, I was getting 42. Now the person replacing me is now getting $73,000, which is a 75% increase when inflation is actually 88%. So we're 13% short by those figures there. Now, not every professor has the same income when they get when they get hired, and different departments pay different amounts. But that's an example. CSU administration is betting that most of the professors are too busy, or they didn't want to bother about the job action. They don't want to strike. None of us wants to strike, but that we're just not going to be very committed, and that will settle soon. So basically, what we have to do is show that we're very committed and that we're willing to go all the way. So you have to turn in your commit cards and show that a job action would be successful if that's what it comes to, because at that point the CSU will give in, but they won't give in before that. History of negotiations over my 25 years, this is my memory. Administration waits until the last minute until they give realistic offers. In my 25 years at CSU, we've only had the one job action, and that was like for one day on different campuses, and the CSU gave in at that point. What the problem is that often, in my mind, the CFA doesn't often get the kind of support that they need. So the bargaining committee gives in to a tentative contract that's lower and doesn't keep up with regular inflation. So we need to show the bargaining committee that we are committed by turning in those commitment cards and gathering in groups whenever we're called to. LA Unified School District, they went out for 3 days and they got 22%. Firemen get more, police get more, a lot of public employees get more, and they don't even have a PhD. So anything less than a 12% would mean a reduction in wages. So that's not good. And you say, okay, well, I'm doing okay now. Yeah, but what happens when somebody goes into the hospital? Our hospital insurance doesn't pay for everything. Or you want to buy a house or a condo. Or your kids need to go to college, or you want to retire. Though you have to have a lot of money in the bank in order to do those things. So we're also negotiating for 1 semester paid leave for young parents, which is really important because it's a super stressful time of life, especially now that usually both couples or both parents are working, and if it's a single mother, it's just really important that we have 1 semester paid leave. Also, there will be a $10,000 bump for professors who are earning $54,000, the very lowest paid professors, and no large classes. So please sign those commitment cards, demonstrate that you don't want our profession to go downhill. We just want to keep up with inflation. We don't want to increase. We just want the same amount of money. Thank you so much.